Right then, welcome back to the channel. We're looking at 5 things that we learned, and I was thinking coming into yesterday, before the game, I was thinking, 5 things tomorrow is going to be an absolute nose to do because we're probably not going to have learned anything. But sitting here feeling like losing my mind, but I actually do feel like we did learn some things. Let's get into them. De Ligt and Yoro. Now, I think these are 2 players that are gathering a little bit of consistency and they're playing well. And I think if you're not seeing the talent that's in Yoro, I don't know, maybe try tennis. I'm really liking what I'm seeing. There's obvious flaws with him. You're looking at a lot of potential and you're looking at a lot of the things that he can do rather than the things that he can't do or the things that he's maybe making mistakes with. The key with the mistakes that he's making is he gets to make them once or twice. As long as he's not making them 10, 15 times, then it's not a drama. That's always been the case. You're allowed to make mistakes. It's when people make the same mistakes every single game that you're like, okay, there's no one sat him down. But I don't see that with Yoro. I see some like physical deficiencies with him, but it's ones that you go, I know you can fix those. So let's get him fixing those. Now, I thought we played out from the back quite well with De Ligt and Yoro, and I think De Ligt's quietly kind of just building like a real level of like reliability about him. Those 2 are cementing themselves as starters. Rightfully, they're occupants of 2 of the 3 spots, and they're young players that can be at the club for a long time. So obviously depends on how Lisandro Martinez recovers from the not inconsiderable injuries that he's racked up. But I also think like Mazraoui can do a serviceable job. You've still got Maguire and you've still got others in and around the mix. Obviously the likes of Aiden Heaven in and around there. So, you know, there's a lot of opportunities and there's a lot of options at the centre-half role for United at the moment. Number 2, missed opportunity. Oh, in a big way, man. Sociedad were inexplicably bad. Yes, they had Zubimendi ill, who would have made such a difference to their ability to dictate the play. But they seemed to lack physicality. They seemed to lack pace. They didn't really have the athleticism, the intensity. It shocked me, actually. I think any decent Premier League team absolutely obliterates them. United have to find a way to be more ruthless. We created the chances. We didn't score anywhere near enough chances as we should have done. And it was a little bit of a frustrating kind of night. Nice to see Zirkzee get on the score sheet, took his goal really well. But, you know, you just think, can we test them just a little bit more there? Because they were so there for the taking. It was actually a level easier of a game than I thought it was going to be. And that might not be the case after we've played Arsenal, when the players have got more fatigue, because it's only going to be the same players that are playing again, and they get Zubimendi back. You know, it was their substitutes that really changed the game for them, brought a lot of energy. If they do the same thing again next week, we could find ourselves out. Number 3, Casemiro. The lack of physicality in the game, I thought, made him stand out. One of his best games in a while. His range of passing, we got to see. And, you know, his passing led to that first goal. He was doing this the other day against Fulham, where he would play some passes where I'm sitting there going, there's nobody on the pitch that can play that pass. And then he will pass it to no one and you go... And I was just chatting to Joe then, and Joe goes, it's almost like he's someone that's played at the highest level and just doesn't care anymore. And I went, that might be exactly what it is. He's just fucking about. Because that's what it looks like he's playing, which means that sometimes he pulls off some outrageously good stuff and sometimes he pulls out some outrageous stuff. But yeah, he deserves credit for the game. He's going to have to perform like that again next week. I can't imagine you even see him at weekend with the injuries and the stretch of matches. I just don't think Casemiro could play Thursday to a high level. And I think it'll catch up with him if he does. Number 4, Dalot struggling. We've spoken about this time and time again this season, both under Ten Hag, but really under Amorim. He's just totally fell off a cliff in terms of the quality that his quality and decision making, and the decision making for not playing in Højlund is rightly getting the criticism that it should do. He's got to be better in that. There is zero excuse. You get in that opportunity, you put the ball in that area. That's it. You know, he doesn't ever miss a game, but I think he probably should. You know, whether that's through just being dropped or just take him out of the team, let him watch some game footage, let him have a think, let him relax. You know, the fall from grace since Amorim's arrival is either highlighting his lack of suitability for the system or his lack of ability to understand his role within the system. He's been a real eyesore all season, but like I said, particularly under Amorim. He's just got to do better. Like, he's not excelling in either part either. He's not looking like great defensively, and maybe he's lacking a little bit offensively, or he's not looking, you know, fantastic offensively, but maybe he's a bit of a weakness defensively. He's just looking mediocre in both aspects of the game, and I'm pretty sure he wouldn't be playing if we had anybody else that the manager trusted to play. But I think he needs an extended period out of the team. I don't know when that's even possible to do for him, but I think he needs an extended period out of the team. And see if he can recapture a little bit of form, because, yeah, this is a real crushing end to the season for him. Number 5, depth concern. So there's no other way to paint it. We're tired late in the game, which is a worry with 2 other big games coming up, Sunday, Thursday. Physicality issues are going to get compounded. Amorim really has to start, even if it's just 10 minutes, just playing some of these youngsters. You got no choice, mate. Like, if you're reliant on Eriksen and Casemiro to get you through 90 minutes of football, you're in trouble a long time ago. You know, the lack of options is problematic because it means there's no surprise factor for opposition. People go, right, here's how United are going to play. There is no surprise. There is nothing that they've not thought of. They know exactly how you're going to play. They know exactly who you're going to play. And they know exactly how those players are going to perform. And they know that they can probably outwork you because you haven't got anybody else that you can bring in. So it's not just a case of those players get a little bit tired and that means they're going to be 5% worse. No, there's loads of other X factors that come into this. Tactically, the opposition know how to set up where you're still going, it might be this, it might be this, it might be this. There you go, it'll be that. Let's work on that. Which becomes problematic. Matches become stale really fast. He's not trusting the bench, which, you know, I get there's not a lot of quality on the bench, but like, this is where a wild card can come in. A youngster that just doesn't give a fuck might be a little bit of a spark for you. Otherwise, there is no spark. No spark. Total lack of game changers. Yes, you might have Cheeto back. Does Cheeto score his first goal against Arsenal? Hell of a story there if he does. But is that our only hope going into the Arsenal game? Because that's wild, innit? Yeah. So, you know, okay, managed to actually learn some things that I actually wanted to talk about after 5 things. It is what it is. Player ratings will be out. And if we manage to get it edited, because it was a long video, part 1 of that 7-part series, I guess, on how to fix United should be out today. If it's not, it'll be Monday by the time I get the first one edited. But either way, stay tuned for all of those. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Cheers to everyone for getting involved. Drop us a comment and take it easy. See you in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.